tavern was loud, thick with the smell of ale and burnt meat, until the bard stepped onto the crate. With a crooked smile, he struck a chord on his battered lute, and the room slowly leaned into his rhythm.
Not all wars start with a bang. Some begin with a whisper. A tax here, a law there, barely a ripple at first. But let me tell you, friends, the war between the noble houses of Quebec was a storm that started with just a sneeze.
A few chuckles, a nod from an old dwarven merchant.
It started in a town no one remembers, where a minor vote turned into a shouting match, and a shouting match turned into a duel of policy scrolls. From there, the paper blades grew sharper. Coalitions cracked. Promises broke like stale bread.
He plucks the lute softly now, the room quiet.
The noble house of the coalition Avenir, Quebec, with their king's faction, whispered sweet futures into the ears of the people. But behind their banners marched the dark legions of bureaucracy, the black flame of control, and at their head, the demon lord himself, François of House Legault.
Gasps from the younger ones, a scoff from a drunk near the hearth.
Oh, you laugh now, but I tell you, he was no mere man. No, friends. He was born of brimstone and ballots, a creature that fed on fear and claimed it was hope. But not all bent the knee. No, 3 brave houses stood tall, each flawed, yes, but breathing with the fire of rebellion. The Parti libéral du Québec, polished and proud. Québec solidaire, fierce with ideals. And Parti québécois, the old guard, stubborn as stone. They didn't always agree. Sometimes they fought each other as much as the king's faction. But when the great green dragon named government cast its shadow over the land, and the Red Dragon Corporation demanded tribute in gold and blood, they knew they had to stand together.
The bard's voice drops, eyes glinting.
That's where the war truly began. A skirmish in a forgotten village, where soldiers of the king's faction clashed with rebel scouts. A whisper turned wildfire, and while the dragons circled above, the people began to choose sides.
He pauses, letting the silence settle before leaning forward with a grin.
But you don't yet know about the ice giants of Montreal, or the storms gathering in Longueuil, and none of you have heard what truly stirs in the shadows of Laval.